Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during a 16-game season era. Man, Sunday night vibes, man. We have a lot to discuss, man. Make sure all of y'all come in, man. Make sure you have your water, your tea, whatever you use, whatever you drink. Chill out, man, and tune on in, man. Let's have some fun tonight. Make sure y'all talk to us because we talk back, man. And yeah, I need a few of y'all to come on into the chat, man, and join this show for the night, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Say what needs to be said. If y'all can't see the new setup, little upgrades going on around here, you see the chair, you're gonna see the logo on it sooner rather than later, man. How do we feel about Shedeur Sanders? How do we feel? Man, Shedeur Sanders. He didn't surprise me. Maybe he surprised a lot of other people, but I wasn't surprised, man. But we had a lot of surprise upsets this week, right? And y'all let me know in the chat, man, who were your surprise picks that were upset this week, man? Mine for me, it was all, the Eagles. I had no clue. The Dallas Cowboys would figure out a way to win against Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, man, and that awesome talented defense, man. You got to give Dak Prescott his just due, man. I didn't expect the Rams to go in there and dominate like they did against the Buccaneers, but they got the job done. You got the job done. A few other games, but let's get into this tonight, man. Let's get into this show tonight, man. Tonight's game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the L.A. Rams. Man, Matthew Stafford and the Rams dominated the Buccaneers 34-7. As you can see, 333 yards total offense for the Los Angeles Rams. And most of their yards came in the first half. The first half, the game was over with. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 193 total yards, two turnovers. What else is interesting here? 1 for 5 on fourth down. Third down efficiency was 7 for 17. Like I said, pretty much in this game, it was over in the first half. Matthew Stafford started off the game completing 13 straight passes. 17 years later, and he is still lighting up legit teams with good defenses. With a good defense. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, I don't know what happened to the Florida boys, but they didn't come ready to play, man. They was asleep. You know that term they use in Tampa, Florida, man? They was asleep. They was asleep pretty much the entire game. But Matthew Stafford, man, had his boys ready to play. That's a long flight all the way from South Florida to the West Coast. And some teams, some players, they're affected differently by that long flight. That long flight, man. Yeah. Matthew Stafford, 25 for 35, 273 yards. 210 of those yards came in the first half, if I'm correct. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 71.4 completion percentage. He was on fire today, man. His favorite target, Devontae Adams, along with Puka Nacua. Devontae, man, he was easy. He was out there making it shake, doing what he does for his quarterback, Matthew Stafford. And, man, they made some plays together. They continue to do great things out there and have a great connection like the top-tier quarterbacks need to have in the NFL. They need to have those players that they could depend on to get them the ball. And Devontae Adams is one of Matthew Stafford's main targets. And, yeah, you see what happened, But Matthew Stafford, man, Matthew Stafford's job was pretty much done, like I said, after he lit him up in the first half. It was an impressive first half by Matthew Stafford. He don't show no signs of him aging or getting older in football years. He continues to play at a high level and play good football for the Los Angeles Rams. Man, with that defense and the way Matthew Stafford is playing, yeah, it's looking scary. And hey, we have to visit my Super Bowl picks, and we'll have to talk about it. It's not looking good for my Super Bowl picks, the two teams that I said will make it to the Super Bowl. But we'll talk about that later. Right now, we focus on the Rams, right? The Rams made the Buccaneers look like, man, they never were never had the potential of doing anything this season. You know, it was a lot of hype in the season about the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, how awesome they were on defense and things like that. But to be honest with you, the Rams made the Buccaneers look like that. All of that was mute. You know, it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish in the National Football League. And shout out to the chat. Shout out to Joanna. Always showing love, man. Y'all make sure y'all talk to me in the chat. I got my co-host coming on soon, man. He's a little late. You know, he's all over the place. He'll be on in about 2 or 3 minutes, and we're gonna crank this thing up a little bit, man. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, man, he played a hell of a game. Didn't have to do much once they put that dagger in him in the first half. But then in comes Teddy Bridgewater, man, because of Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, man, he was I don't know what to say about Baker Mayfield tonight. He couldn't get it done. Baker Mayfield couldn't get it done tonight. You know? And I think it was before we get to Teddy Bridgewater, Baker Mayfield recently stated that he wanted to use his legs more. And I guess that means start running the football more or trying to escape the pocket to create plays. And he said he wanted to use his legs more. He must have knew this game was coming up, and he knew he was going to need to use his legs and be running all over the place because of Jared Verse and the rest of those defensive linemen out there that is aggressively hunting him down or trying to hunt him down because, man, that's a physical defense, you know. And it wasn't by choice that he wanted to run the football. He knew that this was going to come about. It was and it was inevitable playing against the Rams that he needs to run the football. And I think Baker Mayfield, he also needs to, you know, understand that, or we need to understand, and the coaches for Tampa Bay understand, man, this is the same Baker Mayfield we're used to seeing since he's been with the Cleveland Browns. There's nothing going to change, you know, for Baker Mayfield, you know, in his 10th season. This is who he is, and at the end of the day, when he decides to run the football, he knows he got to protect himself. And he didn't protect himself, so in comes Teddy Bridgewater, the high school quarterback, baby. The high school coach just led the Miami Northwestern, what are they, Wildcats? Bulldogs, Miami Northwestern Bulldogs to a high school championship, state title. And now he's entering football games, backing up Baker Mayfield. And let me tell you, if Teddy Bridgewater would have started this game against the Rams, the conclusion might have been a totally different conclusion. You know, Teddy Bridgewater was pretty solid in this game tonight. You know, he made the quick reads and got the ball out of his hands really fast, you know. Either get the ball out quick or deal with Jared Verse and the rest of those big linemen falling all over the place and falling on his legs and things like that when he was just chilling. He was far away from removed from all this physical contact and people grabbing and trying to slam him on his head and things like that. So either you get the ball out quick or you have to deal with those, lions trying to hunt you down, you know? And I'm sure he didn't want that. So plan B or plan A, get the ball out quick. Don't make it to plan B, you know? And I think that was when Teddy Bridgewater came in, he showed Baker Mayfield what the offense is supposed to look like when, you know, you're the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, he did. And what was so disappointing to me about the Cleveland, sorry about that. What's so impressive to me about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what's so disappointing, about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is how they started off the season playing such good football on defense, offense. Like I said, Baker Mayfield was once mentioning him possibly to be the MVP, right? And that was wow. You know, now that you think about it now, Baker Mayfield was possibly potentially an MVP candidate in the beginning of the season. The defense was swarming around. They was making plays. Todd Bowles was drawing up blitzes. Tampa Bay was on their high horse playing football in Tampa. But now things have changed. Something changed midway through the season, and then they stopped being a good aggressive defense. not making plays in the secondary. Now it's hard for them to stop the run and or stop the pass. Defense just looks so dry for Tampa Bay. No one is making no plays anywhere on defense, from the defensive line to the linebackers to the secondary. And if I'm correct, Tampa Bay only registered 1 sack today, 3 passes defended, maybe 4 passes defended. And the longest explosive play on offense was 14 yards until Baker Mayfield came into the game. And when until Teddy Bridgewater came into the game. And when Teddy Bridgewater came into the game, he started getting the ball down the field, but I'm not sure exactly how many yards. What was his most explosive plays, But yeah, I think this game pretty much sums up Baker Mayfield's career. He can make plays, right? He can make plays, but he can't be that quarterback that can deliver under pressure over and over, the consistency that you need in NFL, But he is the type of teammate that have his teammates believe in him, and he loves, and he loves to bring that energy. That energy is contagious to the teammates. That's who Baker Mayfield is. I mean, in this 10th season, man, hey, let's bring on Drees tonight, man. What's up, Drees? How we doing, baby? 2 Drees in the building.
Man.
All over the place, man. You came on time, man, to talk about how disappointing of a night it was for us Eagle fans, man, to have to deal with the Cowboys.
You see, I got the hat
Eagles,
on.
Man.
I might gotta turn the hat around because I got the hat on. Dallas sucks, but they did what they supposed to do today.
Man, we need some Dallas. We need the Dallas fans to come in and talk some smack with us, man. Especially when you come into this live stream and you see that Dallas sucks on someone's hat. You have to come in and talk with us, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
But man, tell us what you think about Baker Mayfield and the LA Rams, man, and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford started off the game 13 for 13, and the game was pretty much over the first half. And then the high school quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, came in, man, and I think he looked better than Baker Mayfield. You ask me.
Man, I told you before, like I feel like the biggest threat in the NFC is the Rams, and the Rams showed it last week when they played the Seahawks. That's who you like. You like the Seahawks, and then they went against the Seahawks and forced 4 interceptions. And this week they did it again. They went against one of the top teams in the NFC and like neutralized them, made it look easy today. Yeah. So like the Rams is like a big threat in NFC. I mean, they might be the number 1 team right now. In
Definitely,
NFC,
man.
honestly.
Definitely. It's only 4 teams left that only have 2 losses. You got the Rams, you have the Patriots, you have it's a few other teams, man. It's a few other teams. So, like he said, man, I am a supporter and I do believe in Sam Darnold. So, hey, we have to see how it goes down between the LA Rams and the Seahawks, man. That's going to be that's a tough division, man, to come up out of. So let's see, man. Let's see.
I get jealous as an Eagles fan, and I watch like the Rams. I watch the Patriots too, like the offensive play calls. I'm like, damn, man, like why can't we confuse the defense like these guys confuse the defense?
I know. The Eagles don't, man. Let's just get into this, man. Let's just get into this tonight, man. Let's just get into this. Eagles versus the Cowboys, man. Eagles lost to the Cowboys 24-21 in a nail biter, man. It was a nail biter. If it was tuned into this game, man, you watched every second, man, you was on your seat, on the edge of your seat, man. And you didn't know who was going to come out victorious in this game. And I remember towards the end of the game, it was the Eagles fumbled the ball consecutively 2 times in a row on a punt return and Saquon Barkley 2 times in a row, and the game wasn't over. It was the Eagles still had an opportunity to win. But in this game, man, I don't know what happened to the Eagles defense, man, and what happened. They forgot that they needed to bring the defense with them to Dallas, and they didn't show up tonight, man. And they didn't show up tonight. That's pretty much the name of the game. And they let Dallas. They gave up 473 yards of total offense against The Dallas Cowboys. Man, you can't do that against the Dallas Cowboys. And on the other hand, the Eagles had 339 yards of total offense against the Cowboys as well. Game came down to overtime, and both sides played really good ball. I can't lie. Both teams had 2 turnovers, first downs. Cowboys had the advantage. Penalties is a thing for the Philadelphia Eagles. Penalties caused a lot of issues for offense and caught a few plays back as well. You know what I mean? Third down is even. Cowboys went for it twice on fourth down and came up short both times. Red zone, 3 for 3 for the Eagles, 3 for 5 for the Dallas Cowboys. Time of possession, pretty much equal. But one thing no one can say, or no one can, I don't want to see anyone criticizing Jalen Hurts and talking about he's not an elite quarterback. He didn't get the job done. Jalen Hurts did everything he needed to do to try to get the victory for the Dallas Cowboys. Unless I didn't see something y'all saw. He was making more explosive plays and throwing the ball, threading the ball to his receivers better than he has any game that I watched so far. And now y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But
in the first half. In the first half.
In the first half, man. In the first half. Yeah, man.
In the first half, they was like the perfect team in the first half. I mean, they was moving the ball up and down the field, getting points. But the second half, you can't go a whole half with 0 points.
You can't go 0 points, but at the same time, like I said, he was I don't know exactly the series of things that happened during the game, but man, he was making the plays that he needed to make. What quarter was it when AJ Brown caught his touchdown?
The first. AJ Brown had a touchdown with 66 yards in the first quarter. All that happened in the first quarter. The first half, the Eagles scored 21 points. They scored 0 points in the second half.
Right.
You like they was up 21-0 in the first half.
And you know what you know what's so crazy about that? The Cowboys made history against the Eagles. If you didn't hear that yet. You know what that is? History. The Cowboys made.
What was
the
it?
Eagles the Cowboys made history with the largest comeback in Cowboys history. But that says a lot about the Cowboys if the largest comeback in history is 21 points. You mean to tell me the largest comeback in the history of a franchise that's been around for what, 50 something years, 60, 100 years? I don't know. The largest comeback is 21 points, man. That's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah.
But Dallas, man, they actually came back from 21 points, a 21-point deficit a few times. So Dallas fans don't get too excited and think this is a special day because you came back from 21 points. It wasn't that big of a deal. The second half of the game didn't look so, didn't do so well. But I didn't think Jalen Hurts did so bad, man. And
you feel like it's more so the penalties and turnovers in the second half?
Yeah, it was more so the penalties, the turnovers, the fumbles, all of those things caused issues in this game, man. And like you see, man, 27 for 39. Jalen Hurts had 289 yards total passing, 3 TDs, 0 interceptions. He had 0 interceptions. I don't think he had any fumbles as well. It was almost 70% completing his passes tonight. He was really awesome in my eyes. Jalen Hurts didn't do anything to lose this game. He did everything correctly to win. And like I said, it was the penalties, the fumbles, and all those other issues that caused the Eagles to lose. And then when you seen Jalen Hurts taking off with the ball and rushing, when it was time to rush, he actually put the most effort he actually ever did in all these games, trying to, shake and make guys miss. Usually he heads straight for the sideline. So I did see extra spunk in Jalen Hurts tonight when it was time to put time to win this game. So like I say, man, and the second half didn't go so well, but from Jalen Hurts' perspective, man, he was matching Dallas. He played better than Dak Prescott. Am I wrong?
I mean, you're right. You're right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was funny, right? You talk about when he rushed, right? When he did that rushing touchdown, And back in the day when Jalen Hurts was the first year they went to the Super Bowl, he used to do the gritty every time he scored a touchdown. And he stopped
Right.
doing that when the Chiefs came back and won that Super Bowl, whatever. He was like, it changed me. Like, I don't do that no more. So today he rushed for the touchdown. He was about to do it. Like, you seem like a little bit happy, excited. And he like, oh no, I don't get excited no more. I was like,
it's like, man, it's
for like 2 seconds.
I'm telling you, that mental health, man, is crazy for football players, man. We have so many things that we go through mentally, and we play these things in our mind, and sometimes we try to take heed and think that it's going to change the trajectory of whatever we're dealing with in our life. And it's just so many things mentally and psychologically you go through as a football player that y'all would never understand. And I don't know, man. You make a good point, man. He was more of aggressive running quarterback when he was doing the gritty and things like that. But now I guess he's trying to be, I don't know, the professional.
It was the same thing. It was the same thing with Cam Newton. When Cam Newton was like, when he went to Super Bowl and all that, he was doing like the little Superman thing and like the first down. But when he got to Super Bowl, he's like, they criticized him for doing that. Like, oh, you showing off, you doing this and that. And he stopped doing it. And it was like a whole different quarterback. Like, be you. Like, do what you do.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that, man. I guess, us football players, like, I understand as we come in as young adults, we begin to mature as in the NFL. And I guess I just thought Jalen Hurts was maturing or something, but I must have forgot about the whole situation and things like that. But like you said, after him and Cam Newton, or they was getting on him about, I guess showing out or being too celebrating too much.
Yeah, you remember when Cam Newton was doing the dab and all that? They was like, all the kids used to do the dab, like, because it came.
But that changed him, like you said. That changed him, man. That changed Jalen Hurts, man. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was for the good or the bad. Maybe it was for the good. He's still doing great, man. So I don't know, man. I like to see people show their emotions and get excited during football. Football is an exciting game. Yeah. It's meant to get excited. It's meant to show your emotions. I don't know why Jalen Hurts is pulling back from that, but one day, man, hopefully he'll come back. But it's all good. We'll accept him how he is. You know what I mean? We'll accept him how he is. But tell me this, man. Tell me what y'all think about Jerry Jones and how he feels about his receivers now that George Pickens is making plays and it's not only CeeDee Lambs. You know what I mean? Is it the time that is this Jerry Jones' time to switch from CeeDee Lamb and make George Pickens his favorite receiver on the team right now? Because Jerry Jones only cares for whoever is producing the most on his team. And that's just the game of football. They love you now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about what have you done for me lately. And George Pickens showed up big tonight, man. So I don't know, man. It's going to be funny to watch Jerry Jones.
He's a playmaker.
He's always been a playmaker, man. He's just, I don't want to call it weird, man, but it's like a little unconventional, the way he acts. It's not conventional the way he acts and carries himself. It's kind of like, oh man, let me push back from him a little bit. But
they said he been missing meetings and missing buses and missing everything. So I feel like that's the reason why the Steelers got rid of him. But when it's time to go on the field, he play.
Did we talk about the Cowboys stats? Dak Prescott?
No, not yet. There you go, right here.
354 yards passing. 23 for 36, 3 touchdowns, only one turnover. Man, let me tell you, when I played football and I was in the secondary, then we let our offense do that much damage to us, man. You barely allowed to talk on the way home on the plane ride and things like that, man. It's like you have to take these games like this with pride and vow to your brothers that we will never let this happen again to us, man. 354 yards. Man, George Pickens, 9 catches for 146 yards. That's a big day for Dallas Cowboys to show out against the Eagles, man. But I don't know how long this relationship will last between Jerry Jones and Pickens, but for now, he took a chance on a risky player, and it's working out great. It's working out great. A lot of things that Jerry Jones did this season was in question. At first, him trading Michael Parsons, which I totally agree with, because they only see the glitz and the glamour when it comes to defensive ends making sacks. There's much more than making sacks to play defensive end. And then when your team can't stop the run, now you're wondering why your team can't stop the run, because that defensive end is undersized and he's running upfield. So Jerry Jones, man, he made a risky decision to go after George Pickens. He knew what his team needed. He knew Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb needed another threat on the other side of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. That will give Dak Prescott more opportunities to make bigger plays. And man, it's panning out well. And I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what Jerry Jones has to say, man. They're on the two-game winning streak. And the only thing you could tell the people in Dallas is the Super Bowl is coming up, man. That's the only thing you can tell them, man. Y'all tell me if I'm lying if y'all don't think the Dallas Cowboys is going to the Super Bowl.
Listen,
2 straight weeks.
You know me.
Even though the Dallas Cowboys beat the Raiders last week, and Shedeur Sanders just beat the Raiders the same way the Dallas Cowboys beat the Raiders. If that makes y'all feel great, man.
You know how many texts I got about the Cowboys going to Super Bowl today?
Man, it's like they use this stuff.
I told you we go to Super Bowl.
Hey, I've been around, been in the NFC East with I went from the Patriots now, then I went to the Eagles, and I've been around long enough, man. And it's like that's the first thing they say when their team is doing good. It's like they use that term to troll everyone. We going to the Super Bowl. Soon as they win, soon as they get victory. Oh, we going to the Super Bowl. And it's like, that's the first thing that comes out of their mouth, man. So it's funny, man. But hey, that's Dallas Cowboys fans, man. And, America's greatest team. But I wonder, man, does A.J. Brown, or how does A.J. Brown feel now since he had 110 yards receiving on 8 catches, Because he had a lot of confusing things to say when the Eagles were winning, So what will his tone be now after a loss and he had a big game, And I don't know. It seemed like bro might be one of those people that thrives off his name being tied to controversy or something like that. Because when he talks, there is no understanding of what he's trying to accomplish. He's just talking, and it's like he's kind of, playing a game with the media, And then just recently he brought up Saquon Barkley's name when he was asked about him maybe falling off or him, leaving out of his prime. And then for him to bring Saquon Barkley name into the mix, as his response, it sounded kind of crazy. And his response was, and don't quote me, he was like, they asked A.J. Brown, they say, how do you feel, man? Everyone is saying you losing a step and falling off. And he was like, is Saquon falling off? I was like, I had to watch it over and over to make sure it wasn't AI, make sure that this was authentic. And it was like, this is weird, man. That was weird. That was weird.
Man, I got a question for you though. I feel like a lot of these times, like the Philadelphia media, like clip certain parts or like make narratives out of certain things. You play for New England and you play for Philadelphia. Like they kind of like, what's your experience? Basically, what's your experience with the Philadelphia media? Whereas like you was like supposed to be a super team when you came to Philadelphia, where you had like Vince Young and all those players like that. Like, what was your experience with the Philadelphia media, basically?
Yeah, man. You getting a little blurry there, but yeah, man. My experience, man, it was let me get the screen. My experience with the Philadelphia media, man. When I first got to Philadelphia, man, it was a totally different experience than what I was used to, man. With me playing with the New England Patriots and under Bill Belichick, we wasn't really communicating with the media as much as any other NFL teams in the NFL, right? We had strict rules being handed down from Bill Belichick from the team meetings and things like that. And the rules were basically he would allow, who were available to talk to the media, and then the people that he didn't want to talk to the media, they had very strict strict warnings. Don't talk to the media, basically. And that's how, pretty much the 5 years we were taught not to like the media, and we never understood we can use the media to brand ourselves. Then when I get to Philadelphia, it was a totally different story. Now I have a chance to talk to the media, and man, this media is relentless. They love their team, and they start a lot of controversy, based on winning and losing. And if you don't show up in Philadelphia and you aren't productive as a high paying free agent or that's just traded for, you will never hear the end of yourself or that player being critiqued if they don't show up and do their job in Philadelphia. They are diehard, nut holes bar fans in Philadelphia. And that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I do believe, man. I do believe this will be the last season the big three, will be together. Saquon Barkley, he is under his 1-year contract, and AJ Brown, I just don't see him being there next year as well. I thought maybe it was a chance that AJ Brown would be traded before the trade deadline, and and Jalen Hurts is probably the only person or the only Eagle out of the big three that I see that will remain, after this season. Jalen Hurts and maybe Devontae Smith, But one of the key plays that cost the Eagles this game, man, was Xavier Gibson, when he fumbled that ball, man. And I knew as soon as he returned that punt or fielded the punt, as soon as he started running the ball, he was carrying the football so loosely. And as soon as he got hit, boom, the ball popped out. And I could see it before it happened. How he was carrying the football. It was kind of, he had the ball secure at first when he first fielded it. But then when he started making his cuts going, trying to make other players miss, that's when that ball came out. But yeah, there you go. There you go, man. So what do you think, man? AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts, man, the big three, are they gonna be together next year?
Yeah, I think so next year. It's not honestly, it's not no bias stuff. I just kind of know what's kind of like
Saquon Barkley's on a 1-year, $10 million deal. You know that, right?
No, he got 2 more years.
Saquon Barkley?
Yeah. Saquon Barkley got two more. What's crazy, Saquon might not get 1,000 yards this year.
About it. I think it's a 1-year guaranteed deal, man, basically. But you talk to me, man, and correct me when I'm wrong. If you could Google it real quick. I don't know if you can, but you let me know, man. Yeah, y'all let me know in the chat. Is it a 1-year deal for Saquon Barkley? Joanna?
They all last year they all got secured for at least 3 years. Him, Smitty, AJ, and Jalen all was secure for the next till 2029.
Yeah, but you got to understand, just because you sign a contract doesn't necessarily mean that whole extension means that player is going to be there that entire time. That the back end of these deals usually don't have guaranteed money. And if I remember correctly, Saquon Barkley, his deal was only a 1-year, $10 million deal, but I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I do think this is the year that the Eagles' big three break up, and maybe not all of them leave. Maybe one have to leave, maybe two have to leave. But some things will change. That's just the nature of the business, man. That's just the nature of the business. We all hate to see it play out like that. But go ahead.
They say overall player ratings. He said, how we about to send AJ back to the Titans?
But yeah, man, if I want to make an excuse for the Eagles, man, because we're going to make excuses for the Eagles, because Dak didn't just do that on his own. That wasn't a regular competition against the Philadelphia Eagles. The secondary was banged up and beat up, and he had to attack a banged up, beat up secondary. And if y'all was watching, man, Dak played a smart game, and I must give it to you. Must give it to him. And me being one of the premier corners, the elite corners, I understand exactly what was going on out there, right? I played in several games where I'm sitting out there and no one is looking. The quarterback is terrified to throw the ball my way, because I'm intercepting it actually, right? But I've been in those games. I'm just there, and that's what Dak Prescott did. He's kind of luring. He kept luring. He lured Quinyon Mitchell to sleep, right? He didn't test Quinyon Mitchell too much at all in the first half. He made sure he stayed away from Quinyon Mitchell and attacked Adoree Jackson. Dang, Adoree Jackson. That's something they need to get fixed. They have to get another corner. The Eagles have to get another corner. And most of that yards, came opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. Until that play that set up the field goal, man. They got Quinyon on the pick route to free up George Pickens, man. And I don't even think it was a setup pick route. It just so happened to be the Eagles called a blitz. They put the corners on the same level, and the corners didn't get on different levels. And that's what you're supposed to do as a cornerback when both threats or both receivers are kind of close. One needs to go press and one needs to be on a different level so you don't run into each other. And that's what happened to Quinyon Mitchell, man. He got picked, and that freed up George Pickens, man. And ultimately cost us the game.
Mm-hmm.
And but before that, when Dak was going at Quinyon Mitchell, man, he broke on the ball. He broke on 2 plays. So sweet, man. Back to back, he broke on those balls, and it was kind of discouraging for Dak to try to look his way. But like I said, man, if you play cornerback in the NFL, no matter who you are, that's why when I get offended when I see people say they don't throw that cornerback way or blah, blah, this and blah. Man, everyone gets their fair amount of attempts thrown their way, man. So don't ever feel that a cornerback isn't getting the ball thrown at him and he doesn't have the opportunity to make plays. There's always opportunities for cornerbacks, man. Yeah. But yeah.
I remember when you did the conversation with Coach Prime, and you were saying like, even though you got limited amount of attempts, like when the attempt did come your way, you was able to make a play on the ball, and that matters. Like
exactly.
A lot of people like the ball don't come that way, but when the ball come your way, what you gonna do is what's gonna happen when the ball come your way. You gotta make it happen.
Just because you get 7 attempts at you and I only get 4, that don't give me an excuse that I can't that I shouldn't be making plays. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everything that people say and use besides making a play or being productive is an excuse. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. Yeah. Either you make the play or it's an excuse, because no one is out here getting treated differently in the NFL unless you're a Myles Garrett or a defensive lineman, and you can obviously see that you're getting triple teamed, and but that happens all the time. Triple team, double team, But man, the Raiders versus the Browns, Cleveland Browns. How do we feel about the Raiders versus the Cleveland Browns, man? Was that an exciting game? Was y'all happy to see Shedeur Sanders shine? How did y'all feel about that, man? Only a matter of time before Shedeur put him up, baby. Only a matter of time, man. And, man, I was so happy to see Shedeur Sanders do his thing, man. Cleveland Browns beat the Raiders very convincingly, 24-10. And that was an impressive victory today, man. 24-10, the Raiders beat the Cleveland Browns. 270 yards total offense. Only 2 turnovers by Shedeur leading this offense. A lot of penalties, 6 penalties for 77 yards. Would like to cut that in half. They didn't go for it on 4th down. 2 for 3 in the red zone was always a good thing. Man, the Raiders, man, they was, Geno Smith and the Raiders, they got a lot to work on, man. They are pretty awful back there, man. But let me guess, man. Shedeur Sanders haters doesn't think Shedeur's energy brings the team doesn't hit different for the Cleveland Browns. If you couldn't see that Shedeur Sanders energy hits different for the Cleveland Browns, you are one of the Shedeur haters that I'm talking about. And Shedeur stepped up, man, and he made the best of his opportunity because he understands Kevin Stefanski isn't going to be hanging or handing him many opportunities. He has to take advantage of the opportunity at that moment, because there might not be tomorrow if he doesn't capitalize. And he understands that, Mm-hmm. He understands that. But especially if he didn't make the best of his opportunity against the Raiders, this would have been a long week of nothing but controversy in the media between Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel. Who belongs at the starting quarterback? Who belongs?
I feel like the No, I was saying I feel like Vegas was like counting Shedeur out, man. They had his over under at 152 yards. They don't do that for nobody. I was like,
Shedeur his
it's
first
so low
start,
for him.
man. What's wrong with him? Shedeur his first start, man. The first quarterback to win in his first start for the Browns, I think in 29 years. Cleveland Browns first rookie to win in their first start since 1999. 11 for 20, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Shedeur Sanders, man, he was on fire out there today, man. Now let's revisit my predictions. Let's revisit my
Coach
predictions
Prime was
for
in the
this
building
game.
too.
Coach Prime, I saw him, man, and he was all smiles, man, in that tunnel, man, waiting for his son and, you know, giving him his grace before he take the field. But the thing about it, I could see that energy they have together and that they believe. They all believe. It wasn't no doubt in Coach Prime mind or Shedeur mind that he wasn't going to go out there and be successful. It wasn't no doubt. You can tell. And that's when I talked about the last time I talked about Shedeur and when he had to take the field in the second half after Dylan Gabriel went down. And I said, Shedeur looked like he had experience. He looked like he looked comfortable. And at that time, it kind of sounded a little off. But that's what I meant, because I saw today back then in that last game, you know, just because it didn't pan out the way he wanted to, I saw that he had all the intangibles, the patience, the arm, being able to make the reads, not scared to go down the field with the football and things like that, you know? And yeah, Shedeur Sanders, man. Yeah. But let's revisit my predictions.
How do you feel about how you feel about only having 20 attempts? Is that like that was like the perfect amount?
Exactly. I think that was the perfect amount for Shedeur Sanders, man. First game as a full-time starter, first week with a full week of preparation as the starting quarterback. This is a different level, a different speed, you know, compared to college football. So it was a game for him to go out there and get his feet wet, right? And I can see, man, he is eager to do more, and he wants to get the football down the field more, and he wants to throw the football field more. But the coach's job is to protect Shedeur from himself and make sure, like I said, I was watching to make sure Kevin Stefanski and the Browns offensive coordinator run the football the same as they did with Dylan Gabriel. You know, I wanted to, if they didn't come out there running the football the same way they did with Dylan Gabriel, to me, that would have been some games being played, you know, because it didn't make any sense for this offense to change to be a passing offense first, and now just because Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback. But like I said, man, let's revisit my predictions for this game. And if anybody remember my predictions, man, I went out there, I went on a limb because I believe in Shedeur. And like I said, I can see what he can do. You know what I mean? I said Shedeur would throw for 275 yards. I said Shedeur would have 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I said he'd probably have 2 or 3 sacks. And I also said Jerry Jeudy will have 100 yards receiving. Man, Jerry Jeudy is a letdown, man. And Jerry Jeudy, man, it's hard to keep having confidence in Jerry Jeudy, man. He finds a way to turn good plays into bad plays. And this, not just only this game. He does it over and over and over, man. He has a problem with drops. Consistent dropping the football, and now this fumble on one of Shedeur's biggest moments in the NFL. You know, Jerry Jeudy is supposed to be stepping up to help the young brother out, and he goes out there and just does a bonehead play and makes himself look bad in the process. You know, and that was a bad look for Jerry Jeudy today, man. And he needs to be trying to revive his career, man, because no one is looking at him too strong, man. You know, he's supposed to be stepping up for Shedeur. Same, plain and simple as that. And if he didn't fumble that football, he probably would have had 100 yards receiving like I predicted. But once you fumble the football, ain't no telling the coach still believe in you. The coach doesn't even want you on the football field anymore and things like that. But I did see Jerry Jeudy disappear for a while, and he came back. But Shedeur probably like, man, I ain't throwing you the football. But Shedeur impressed in the first half with 127 yards, and he went 7 for 11 in the first half passing. Only 1 sack and 1 interception in that first half. So Shedeur came out very, very impressive. And like I said, he came out like he was experienced, like he was meant to be there, even though he wasn't experienced. It's crazy. In the second half, the Raiders started sending that blitz, after getting hit with a big play from the first blitz. They decided they had to send the blitz because they didn't have a choice. It was only 3 points on the board, and Geno Smith was at quarterback, so they had to do something. And that's send the blitz, try to make something happen. And they kept sending that blitz. It kept sending that blitz. And you know what happens when you keep sending that blitz? You get hit with a screen for a touchdown. And that's what happened. Shedeur hit their butt on the slip screen. And I think it went like 66 yards for a touchdown. Get it to the fastest man on the football team for the Cleveland Browns. Boom. That was beautiful, man.
Overall player ratings, he come back with another comment. If the Browns didn't do the Wildcat, Shedeur would have had 3 touchdown passes today.
If they didn't do the Wildcat, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of weird too at first, too, man.
That first drive.
Right. And I think Shedeur was kind of spooked and surprised himself at the same time. Oh, something fell. And I think Shedeur was kind of surprised himself, like, he was talking to the sideline when he came off. And remember, everything is new to Shedeur, man. This is his first game being a full-time starter. And he came out as, during the Wildcat because they wanted to get Quinshon Judkins the football and one of the explosive players on offense. And he was on the sideline looking like, it took me out. Like, he's thinking in his mind, like, I'm about to throw my first touchdown. It's like, go down, little fella, like your time is going to come, man. And all these are different for Shedeur, like I said, man, because he's not used to being a full-time starting quarterback in the National Football League. And, he's adjusting. He's adjusting, man. Mm-hmm. But, Shedeur showed up, man. And Jerry Jeudy, man. Jerry Jeudy. I don't know. And that's the thing about the Cleveland Browns is there isn't too many big play athletes on offense, man. The biggest play threat they have is Quinshon Judkins. And my question to anyone that believes in Dillon Gabriel or think that Dillon Gabriel has any potential to be a starting quarterback, right? And my question to everyone is, can Dillon Gabriel make the plays like Shedeur did against the Raiders or on his first big play of the game? Can Dillon Gabriel make plays like that? Shedeur Sanders' first big play of the game.
Man, we saw a nice sample size of Dillon Gabriel, and I think that's what we get. That's when he showed us. That's what we get. Ain't nothing changing. That's
exactly what I'm saying. Like, can Dillon Gabriel escape the pressure, escape the pocket, find the open man, and throw the ball 40, 45, 50 yards down the football field and make a play?
Did you see him do it? You saw him do it before?
No.
Exactly. No. I think what we saw, that's what it is.
What is the issue here? How is Dillon Gabriel out competing Shedeur Sanders supposedly for the starting position for the Cleveland Browns? If Dillon Gabriel cannot do the things that Shedeur Sanders can do, and Shedeur Sanders can damn well do the things that Dillon Gabriel do, how is this an issue for Shedeur Sanders to be the starter for the Cleveland Browns? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And we've seen over and over, man, the Raiders, they had a chance to draft Shedeur, and they looked awful as well. I mean, it's like all these teams had an opportunity to draft Shedeur, and turns out they are terrible at the quarterback position. But they skipped over Shedeur round after round after round. And the main people who should be ashamed of themselves are the Raiders. But at the same time, that's probably a good thing for Shedeur, because if Shedeur end up in that black hole, how terrible that offense look, man. I don't know, man. But Shedeur won't play as bad as Geno. I could never put Shedeur in a box like that, because he has a lot of potential, and we have yet to see what he can fully do in the NFL level yet. But Geno Smith is pretty much washed up, man. So can't really make those comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
But Shedeur was ready, man. Shedeur was ready for the pressure, and he made them pay, man. He made them pay. Not only him, man. It was the offensive coordinator making the good calls, because that's what you do when teams building up. If you could time screenplays up when you feel that pressure coming, boom, Shedeur making plays, man. And you could tell Shedeur was prepared to fix any existing mistakes he was making. His first sack, he was aware of taking a sack for a negative for negative yardage, and he made sure he secured the football on that play, on that sack. He didn't take that sack for negative yardage, and that was one thing those are the type of things that Shedeur has to fix, those sacks that he takes over and over and over. And when you take sacks for negative yards, it makes the plays even worse. So you seen if y'all can remember the first sack of the game that Shedeur took, he went forward instead of going backwards. And I noticed that he's making corrections, you know what I mean? And how can the haters, man, hate on Shedeur after a game like this? You know what I mean? Especially knowing the circumstances he had to overcome.
The people
there's
say
nothing to hate about. All you can see on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, down your timeline is Shedeur praise, man. So there is nothing to hate. That kid did everything he can possibly do with his opportunity, man. And he's playing with not the best of the offensive line. The same offensive line Dillon Gabriel has to play with, but he makes more happen on offense than Dillon Gabriel. It's as simple as that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, shit. Y'all, if you think these plays were designed for Shedeur Sanders, you crazy. Shedeur even make the screenplays designed for Dillon Gabriel look better than Dillon Gabriel make the plays look, That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. All these plays, most of these plays are designed or were designed in the beginning of the year to be in the offense of install for Dillon Gabriel. And Shedeur turns around and make these same plays designed for a left-handed quarterback look even better. That's what you're supposed to do, man. And Shedeur knows the situation. He knows he's much better than who he's competing against. He just has to play this game. It's like it's a game. Life is a game. And you have to play the game to get to where you need to,
Mm-hmm.
But I really would like a scout to come debate with me and tell me Dillon Gabriel is better than Shedeur, and explain to me how, when, and where, or why.
I think it'll be a hater. I don't think it'll be actual like real evaluation. I feel like it'll be more hate of coming like because he can't do this like on some. Because they don't like who he is as a person. I don't think it's an actual real reason of like why they think that way.
So so basically the whole debate and the whole thing about Dillon Gabriel being better than Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel should be the starter for the Cleveland Browns. You're saying all that debating and all those things are over with now?
No, I ain't saying it's over with. I'm saying the reason why they would say Dillon Gabriel is better because they feel some type of way that's other than the actual game that he played. It's something else in their heart where it's going to be like
probably going to be one of these faceless trolls that never show their face and don't really say what they mean. They just hear the troll. You know what I mean? In one start, man. In one start, and 1 week. Only 1 week of full preparation, Shedeur looked totally better than all of the quarterbacks for the Browns this season. All of the quarterbacks in 1 week and a full week of preparation. And I swear I thought the refs was going to throw that flag on that slip screen that went for a touchdown, man. It was like, it was a quiet moment, and it was like that pause and moment. It was like, is it going to count? Is this Shedeur Sanders' first moment of experience throwing a touchdown? Are the refs going to let it happen? And it was like, I swear they was thinking about it, man. It was like, I swear, man. But I'm glad. I swear I'm glad nobody threw a flag, man. But the Raiders, man, are just a bad football team, man. Bad football team all around, man. When you look at damn near every position for the Raiders, they are just bad at all of them. from the
Not
first
tight
round
end.
pick, Ashton Genty. You know, they can't get him going. To the quarterback, Geno Smith. To the defensive line, they only got Max Crosby, you know, but he's an older player. Special teams is horrible.
No.
You know?
Don't forget about Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is the gym over there.
Brock Bowers, the only position, tight end. I didn't even get to that yet. You know, that's the only
Brock
position.
Bowers.
That's the only position. Everything else is not satisfactory, you know? And probably the strongest position, like I said, Max Crosby, the defensive end, and maybe the secondary. But other than that, man, even the first round pick, Ashton Genty, is a bust for the Oakland Raiders. Maybe another team wouldn't be a bust. You know what I mean? Because if the Raiders can't find a way to get Ashton Genty to the second level, he will never pan out for the Raiders. That's who Ashton Genty is. He needs to get to the second level to be effective. You know, when Genty finally was able to get to the second level against the Cleveland Browns, you see how hard it was for the defense to tackle him. You know, once he gets downfield, it's hard for people that is only 30 pounds heavier than him to get him down. Now, if you outweigh him by 100 pounds, it's much easier. But when he gets to the secondary, if you're his size or only 30 pounds heavier, man, it's very hard to get Ashton Genty down, man. You know?
Yeah, it was like a stat. It was like a stat saying that he get contact the quickest out of all running backs. Like basically by the time when he get the ball, he gets like contact faster than any other running back in the NFL. So like he gets no chance to like make a play because as soon as he get the ball, he get hit.
Yeah. I like I said, I don't see him. I don't see Ashton Genty being able to create plays from the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like the other top backs, Bijan Robinson, Gibbs, Jamar Gibbs.
Jamar Gibbs, man.
You know what I mean? There's Saquon Barkley. You know, there are other backs that can create at the line of scrimmage when nothing is there. And Ashton Genty isn't there, man. Isn't that type of back. He needs a strong offensive line that can, you know, open up holes so he can get to that secondary. To create from the line of scrimmage, you need those fast, twitchy muscles. And Ashton Genty, he's strong, but he's not twitchy. You know what I mean? And without being twitchy, you need that extra help. And that's the problem, man. That's the problem in NFL draft, man, with these top draft picks. They are usually drafted to one of the worst teams because, you know, they are the best player available instead of the team picking a player that would fit them the best. You know what I mean? And I think Ashton Genty would fit much better in a system with like John Harbaugh system with the Chargers. But for the Raiders to move up and draft him and think Chip Kelly can do something, that was bizarre, man. That was a bizarre move.
Kelly got relieved of his duties.
Oh, he did already?
Yeah, I saw it today. Like recently,
I didn't get to do research. We'll talk about that tomorrow, man. We have to research and make sure that's official, man. And I didn't see it yet on Twitter, but if he did get relieved of his duties, he probably was the first one that needed to go, man. But how is Kevin Stefanski going to feel about Shedeur Sanders' performance, man? Will he find something not to be happy about, or will he accept that Shedeur Sanders can get the job done and he could do it in an elite level, right? Because, you know, one thing about Kevin Stefanski, he isn't used to quarterbacks making big plays or creating like Shedeur did today. And sometimes that doesn't sit well with a coach because they want their system to be promoted first. They want their system to override the players. And that's one reason I can see Kevin Stefanski wanting to deal with Dylan Gabriel more than he want to deal with Shedeur. Whether they're winning or losing, he just feels like he's operating the system. Whereas Shedeur is going to run the offense, and it's going to feel like he's doing more of the system, you know, kind of like a Josh Allen situation. And then, he just showed up today. You know. And Myles Garrett, he's the ultimate game record defense can have, man.
Sure.
You know, having him on defense as an offensive player, if you're an offensive player, it has to make you feel good knowing that the other side of the football, one of the game records is going to hurry up and get you the football back, you know. What was so impressive about about beating a bad team. It's two bad teams playing against each other. That's impressive in its own, man. Because I'm trying to think about all the things the haters would want to say, to try to take away from Shedeur's success today. You know what I mean? Being that, like I said, if you don't want to give credit to Shedeur and say he went out there and beat a sorry Raiders team, then you would have to say the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys, because everyone was praising the Dallas Cowboys because they beat the Raiders the week before, and it's the same team. So
it's still the NFL. It's still a football game. It's still, you got to play the game. You got to win the game, because we've seen a lot of times where, a heavy favorite or supposed to lose the game. Like, you still got to play to win the game. You know what I mean? It's hard.
Right.
The hardest thing to do is win the game in the NFL. I don't care what team you are. I don't care your record. I don't care. You still got to play to win the game.
You have to play to win the game, no matter what team you're playing, what time of the year. You come out there half stepping, you will lose. I don't care who you're playing, man. You have to play to win the game, man. But Shedeur understands, man.
Just like you said, since 1999, the first time a rookie starter won a game for the Browns. If it was so easy, it wouldn't have been 25 years or 26 years. How many years it been? If it was like easy to do, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And man, Shedeur understood the situation, man. He knew he had to seize the moment. And man, honestly, man, he understands everything he is going through with not being able to practice with the scout team, having to throw to the equipment managers, and not getting first team reps. And he's going to come out and say it blatantly, but if you read between the lines and everything Shedeur speaks about, man, you will catch on fast. Check out Shedeur Sanders after the game.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt very relaxed, and half of that comes from preparing, studying, and knowing I got God on my side. So throughout all that, I had no worries. I didn't feel nervous or anything before the game, because like, he took all my worries and everything away.
Relax. No worries, man. Like I say, man, Shedeur Sanders is built for this, man. He has the experience mentally to get the job done, man. I don't know if he's taking mental reps when he's not in the game or what, but already you can tell, man, he's built for this, and he understands what it takes to get the job done. And if he didn't understand what it takes to get the job done, you can see just from playing 2 quarters to him playing 4 quarters. He corrects his mistakes quickly. And that's what it's all about. When you make it to the NFL, or you're a professional, period, how fast can you correct your mistakes? How fast can you adjust to something you're not used to adjusting to? Shedeur is doing all of those.
I'm getting my Stephen A. Smith bag. Shedeur Sanders is a liar. He talking about he ain't getting nervous today. It's your first start in NFL. You had your dad in the building, man. No, man, you was out there nervous. Man. I ain't gonna believe. I don't believe that.
There's a lot of evidence out there to back up his claim of him saying he's not nervous. Now, his dad came on Say What Needs to Be Said, and let me tell you, my son is unflappable. He said he was unflappable now.
Did you ever have moments when you was nervous?
Huh?
You ever had moments when you was nervous?
Yeah, I'm always nervous. It's like I'm only nervous until my cleats hit the football field. When they hit that grass, everything goes out of the out the air.
Yeah,
out my head. I ain't thinking about that.
His first start, man, all this stuff that's been happening to him. He probably didn't sleep last night. Honestly, leading up to this, he think about all the possibilities. He think about me throwing a touchdown. He think about where he can mess up. I mean, it's no way.
But at the same time, man, you envision these things in your head in the hotels. So you envision. So yeah, negative things will try to keep up in your mind, but you have to block them out and continue to see yourself doing positive things. Like, I would go through that same situation. Like, something might creep up in my mind at night with Peyton Manning completing the pass on me, and I have to hurry up and try to, force that out of my mind and show myself picking the ball. So it's like you have to really envision things you want to do in life, man. And Make it come to fruition, man.
I ain't say he
by the
wasn't ready
power of
or like it was a
manifesting.
bad thing, but it's nerves. There's nerves that creep up in there. Your first NFL start as a quarterback. You had some nerves.
Sometimes you don't have time to get nervous, but I understand what you're saying, man. But yeah, I really don't. Man, you could see how calm, cool, and collect. He really doesn't get hyped up enough or agitated enough to get nervous, in my opinion, man. He just seemed like he's so cold and calm, like whatever. Like it was a couple of plays, it's like he was throwing down the field or taking chances that I thought were unnecessary, and he just walk off the field like nothing, or almost threw an interception, and it was just like, right, do you understand? Like, boy, this is your last opportunity, basically.
Yeah.
But shout out to Shedeur Sanders, man, and getting his first victory for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. Man, is he out? He outplayed a lot of people by expectations. Let's just put it that way, man. And moving right along, man. Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This game right here, winning overtime. Patrick Mahomes showed up today. Now offense put together 449 total yards offense to the Indianapolis Colts, 255 yards total offense. And in this game, the Colts went 5 for 13 on third down. Kansas City Chiefs 7 for 16 on third down. Colts 0 for 0 on fourth down. Kansas City went 2 for 2. That was pretty big in this game. Red zone, Kansas City Chiefs 1 for 6. Indianapolis Colts 2 for 4. Kansas City Chiefs 1 for 6, kicking 3 field goals. That was a big issue for them, coming so close to losing this game. That was the issue, you know what I mean? And it's starting to look like Daniel Jones, man. Magic is starting to wear off for the Indianapolis Colts. That's what it's looking like. All that hype from the beginning of the year, being the number one offense, Jonathan Taylor being this awesome running back in his 8th year, all that hype, all that magic is starting to wear off. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Always remember that. Always remember that. The NFL is one of the longest wearing, tearing you down seasons in any sport. It might not be as long as football and baseball, but them pads and hitting each other wears a mother sucker down. You know what I mean? But Daniel Jones, man, and the Colts, you know, they were able to get past the Falcons in overtime last week, and they lost to the Steelers the week before that. So, I mean, the hype train is not all the way a hype train. You can't just be, hey, the magic is kind of leaving if y'all ain't paying attention and you rooting for the Indianapolis Colts. It's not all the way there like it used to be.
Yeah, this was a do or die situation for the Kansas City Chiefs. The whole time I was watching this game, I was thinking about you. Like, I was waiting for you. Like, I told you the Chiefs ain't making the playoffs, because if they would have lost today, it would have been like basically like they not making the playoffs. But they ended up pulling out late in the game. They was down like 9-20 to like I think it was like 9-20 going into the fourth quarter. Ended up coming back and taking the lead and stuff like that. But it's Patrick Mahomes, man. He put the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. He gonna make it work.
Yeah, man. It's hard to count the Chiefs out, man. It's hard to count the Chiefs out. And if they would have lost this game, man, it definitely it probably would have had a 1% chance to go into the playoffs if they would have lost this game. But, you know, overtime in Arrowhead Stadium, you know, and they kept their playoff hopes alive with this victory. And Indianapolis Colts, man, they forgot who they were playing. They forgot they were playing against Patrick Mahomes and the great Andy Reid. That's what it boiled down to. The Colts let Patrick Mahomes hang around too long. You got to learn how to kill a mosquito with an axe when you're dealing with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You know, they kept giving Mahomes chance after chance when everything was going wrong for the Chiefs. Chance after chance. And they only had a 2-possession lead. And you have to score as many points as you can when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. And that's where the Colts failed in this game. They weren't able to capitalize on a lot of misfortunes by the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, and that's where it ended at. The first half, man, the Chiefs were shooting themselves in the foot, play after play, fumble after fumble, red zone stop after red zone stop. No Colts. It was no Colts. Only them 21 points. What it was? Yeah, them 21 points in the first half. But how many points they scored?
Yeah, 20.
How many? What you say? 21?
No, 20. It was 20 to 23. So it was 20. They had 20 for a long time.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, 352 yards, completing 29 out of 46 attempts. 0 touchdowns and 1 interception. 67% completion percentage, 30 yards rushing. He does what he needs to do to win games. That's what Patrick Mahomes does, man.
That's a lot of. No, I was talking about the Chiefs. That's a lot of offensive plays right there. I mean, he got 46 attempts, and Kareem Hunt had 30 attempts.
Yeah,
30 carries. That's a lot of offensive plays right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of plays, man. But the thing about this game, man, what happened was Kansas City Chiefs controlled the time of possession most of this game, man. It's just that when they got to the red zone, they was unable to capitalize. They were unable to, get the ball in the end zone until, the end of the game. Even at the end of the game, just the game going into overtime, the Kansas City Chiefs had an opportunity to stop the game from going to overtime.
Yeah, at the ball like in the 10 yards. They could score.
The Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes had no problem driving up and down the field, man, and they just couldn't turn them drives into touchdowns, man. I almost cost Chiefs the game, man. Penalties. It was penalties, bad throws, fumbles, and basically bad execution was the issues for the Kansas City Chiefs. Then when the Chiefs put together a good drive, something would always happen to negate them drives. I guess that's pretty much how the Kansas City Chiefs season has been going so far this season. But they was able to pull it off tonight, man, against one of the high-power offenses in the NFL. And, I think what's underrated for the Indianapolis Colts is how they play defense. They really play really good on defense. They're a physical team, and they're not known for being a physical team, You know what I thought about? Speaking of defense,
I seen Sauce Gardner getting that personal foul, and he was like, it made me take me back to the time where he was like, I only get personal fouls because I played for the Jets. I'm like, you got that's the first thing that came into my mind. He's like, only because I play for the Jets and you lose it. I'm like, oh, you got one today, my man.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's the temperature of the game that'll make you get a personal foul. It's the heat of the moment that will make you get a personal foul. It ain't about you playing for the Jets. Yeah, if you playing with the Jets and you losing and you just so frustrated you want to take it out on somebody. But besides that, it's the tempo, the temperature of the game, which makes you get that personal foul, man. But for the Chiefs, man, things started to change with about 5 minutes left in the game, man. That damn tight end Noah Gray for the Kansas City Chiefs catches the ball. He stopped trying to catch in the middle of the aisle on 4th and 3. and that led to a first down. That's when I knew things would change for the Kansas City Chiefs. I didn't think it would go in overtime now, I can't lie. But Noah Gray, did y'all see that catch? It was like he went for it first, then he came down and maybe had a little whiplash and had a little concussion or something, and still managed to catch the football. That was wild. That was crazy. Noah Gray, number 83, man. One of the plays of the game, man. One of the plays that helped Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get this victory. And
he did drop a touchdown too. When Mahomes threw it right over the defender, he's going up the sideline. I don't think the ball's going to hit him in the hand. Like right in his hand, he just dropped it because the defender. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. You had went out. You back?
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he kind of had went out, but you back. But yeah, man, I like the Chiefs' defensive scheme, man. What they did to stop Daniel Jones, man, and he couldn't figure it out how to get the ball deep down the football field, man. Steve Spagnuolo, the defense coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, man, he knew exactly when to put the pressure on Daniel Jones and exactly when to sit back. And by him playing those cat and mouse games with Daniel Jones, it really was confusing to the offense for the Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones. Most of Daniel Jones' yardage and him having success was him throwing a lot of 5 and 6 yard routes, and everything would, Steve Spagnuolo defense kept everything in front of him. I don't know if they kept everything in front of him on purpose or Daniel Jones was just he was shying away from trying to get the ball deeper, and taking more of a chance. So I don't know, man, but that was, Steve Spagnuolo defense again, man, being oppressive and doing that thing for the Chiefs, and they stepped up big against a powerful offense,
Yeah. And shout out to the Chiefs punter because they that second half, Colts had a lot of bad field position too. They had them backed up a lot. And I mean, that's like you said, it was times where they sent the blitz and Jones, he get to that deer in the headlights look in his eyes is like, oh yeah, he ain't there no more. I don't know where he at.
Yeah. But the big question, man, like I said, all the magic is supposedly wearing out and disappearing for the Indianapolis Colts. Can Daniel Jones deliver, man, when the game is on the line over and over consistently, Is he going to need to step his game up when the playoffs come, He is going to need to step his game up when the playoffs come if the Colts want to advance. Right now, it don't look like the Colts will be advancing too far. The way the Dallas Daniel Jones is playing, based on this game. This is only one game now. We critiquing game for game. It's all about what have you done for me lately, But in overtime, man, Daniel Jones was scared to put the game, The Colts were scared to put the game in Daniel Jones' hand. They elected to run the ball a couple straight times, and I think they went 3 and out in overtime. They were scared to put the ball in Daniel Jones' hands. It's like, how do you get this far into the game, make it to overtime, elect to receive the football, and run 3 straight downs? It's like you completely told on yourself as the coach for the Indianapolis Colts that you don't have confidence in your quarterback in Daniel Jones. You have to go for the gusto or let your nuts hang when it's time, when the game is on the line. But you mean to tell me in overtime they were scared to attempt passes because of Daniel Jones, man? That was crazy.
Ask for the ball first.
Yeah, and you ask for the ball first. It was like the common sense, they just all over the place, man.
Man, as a player, did you like kicking the ball off first, or you want offense to go out first?
I like kicking the ball off first, man. I like getting out there and getting my pads a little.
Yeah. Me too. I agree. I hate like coming at the halftime and going right on the field. I want the offense to go first off at halftime. Like I want to like hype up and lead up to the game. Put me on the field first because I've been waiting for this all week long.
There you go. Because at the same time, like you say, coming on the field from halftime, man, your body's feeling different. You're a little sore. You're a little beat up. You know what I mean? And it's hard to adjust for some players. So. Maybe you need a little momentum, a little inspiration from your offensive player. Like, get your blood going. But I like to take the field first as a defensive player. I like to take all my pregame hype and take it right to the field. Don't put me on the sideline with all my hype because I'm taking it out on my
wait a little bit.
I got to take it out on my teammates and act crazy with them like I was acting during pregame. That was all the act. I'm done with the act now. It's time to play football. But moving right along, man, this is going to be the last one for the night, man. Y'all make sure y'all rock out with us, man, and make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the hype button. Y'all know I don't know nothing about the hype button yet, and we're going to get to the comments and see what we can get to, man. And Bears versus the Raiders, man, I'm a lot of surprised about this game right here. And Caleb Williams, man, he's doing a hell of a job for the Chicago Bears and with Ben Johnson over there, man. And this game right here, the Chicago Bears ended this game with 328 yards total offense, while the Steelers was was not Aaron Rodgers was not with the Steelers, but still managed 345 yards total on offense. 2 turnovers by each team. Steelers won the battle in first down. Pretty six penalties for the Steelers, 77 penalties for the Chicago Bears. Third down was pretty even game across the board. That's why it was such a close game. And then got Kelly Williams, man. He lit the Steelers up, man. The Steelers just don't play defense like they used to, man. 19 for 35, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions for Caleb Williams, man. And let me tell you, man, Caleb Williams, he's playing some impressive football. He had a lot of people criticizing and critiquing him because of the things he did outside of football, painting his nails and things like that, things that some men say men shouldn't do, and some feel like men can do whatever they want to do. But we was critiquing him and criticizing him, thinking he can't be a leader or the athlete, the quarterback that the Chicago Bears needed to be a successful team, man. And now he's here, man, and he's really showing strides as a quarterback. He can really get out of that pocket and make defenders miss, man. The defensive line when they're bringing that pressure, man. I think he has a basketball background, and I'm not sure. I forgot to look it up and see, but the moves that he makes on the defensive lineman when they're coming after him, you can see that he's using some type of basketball moves and things like that, man. And I always say, man, if you play baskforce, it's gonna make you a better football player. What do you think about
another thing with the Bears right now? Bears is forcing a lot of turnovers. They got 3 different players with over 4 interceptions. They lead the league in interceptions. So when they on defense, they taking that ball away too, giving Caleb Williams chance after chance to make plays. So that's why the Bears are here competing right now. Yeah, man, and I think they have a young team as well, man. They have a lot of young talent on that team. Monungai, the running back, Kyle Monungai, he's doing a great job as well. He didn't have much of a productive game today. I think he only ended up with 42 yards. But it's just like, man, even though Aaron Rodgers wasn't there for the Steelers tonight, it's still Caleb Williams was able to deliver and beat the Steelers, with Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph didn't do too good. Didn't do too bad. He stepped up, probably played similar to Aaron Rodgers would be playing, at this age and this time of his NFL career. But I want to give a shout out to TJ Watts, man. Caleb Williams didn't know what time it was. He didn't know what hit him when TJ Watts came through and sacked him on that safety. Caleb Williams forgot how strong and fast players are in NFL, and he started resorting back to those college days. You can't do that, man. These are the fastest, strongest athletes in the world. And he thought it was sweet trying to escape the pocket against TJ Watts. TJ Watts put them hands on him and safety. It was like Caleb Williams wanted to get rid of the football, but TJ Watts had him like a straitjacket and the ball just kind of fell out, man. It was that play led to a touchdown, right? Not a safety. I think that play led into a touchdown. So it was like, man, TJ Watts making plays, man. And then you know what I saw from the Steelers? After that, man, the Steelers ran the worst tush push ever. Man, the Steelers ran the worst tush push play ever and got stopped on the 4th and 1 in the second quarter, man. It was the worst tush push I ever seen in my life. It was like they forgot that they was running the tush push, or it was supposed to be a different play. But either way, it got stopped. But I say it was supposed to be a different play because then they came right back and hit the Bears with a fake touch push and went for a big score by Kenneth Gainwell. He hit him for like a 60-yard fake tush push. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's probably what y'all was trying to do the first time, because it couldn't have been the first tush push y'all ran. It couldn't have been the play how it was designed, the way they ran it. And then I seen the big tight end who weighs over 300 pounds, can't bring up his name, and Washington.
Kenneth Gainwell, they was talking about it. I think they was running the tush the tush push with Washington. And then Washington and Gainesville had to talk about it after the play, and then they came right back and ran the tush push.
Man, Gainwell came from the Eagles, so he got a little bit of insight.
exactly. And he was chewing Gainesville out. Who you said Washington played for the Eagles, right?
No, Gainwell.
Gainwell. Yeah. So but Washington was chewing Gainwell out, man. Like he knew what was supposed to happen. So I mean, who knows? But TJ Watts, man, takes the lead in sacks for the Watts family, man, from his brother, man, JJ Watts.
Yeah?
115 sacks and 114 sacks.
Jeez.
That's a lot of goddamn sacks to have in one family.
Yeah.
And mama produces some hell of a genes, boy. Some big, strong, fast genes, boy. Shout out to mama for producing.
Man, I remember 1 year with
20 sacks in the family.
I remember 1 year JJ Watt had like 6 defensive touchdowns. I'm like, he should have been MVP that year. I don't know. I remember what year it was, but I'm like
18 sacks. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and he had like 6 touchdowns.
And he was hurt. I think he had like an arm injury or something like that year. Yeah,
it was crazy that I never thought like TJ Watt would pass him because like JJ Watt was a beast, but TJ Watt doing his thing.
I felt the same way, man. I felt the same way. 2 different teams. But can you think of any other brothers who may come close or who can come close to this amount of sacks as the Watts brothers?
No, I don't think no two other brothers like play the same position as like to get sacks.
You sure about that?
Who else?
I'm gonna give you a hint. One of them played for the Niners.
Oh, Joey Bosa.
Yeah, the Bosa brothers, man. Nick and Joey, boy. Nick and Joey, man. They only had over
Nick and Joey. Yeah, they're not catching them.
Right now, yeah, exactly. They're not catching, but right now they have I think around 140 sacks combined as brothers. One brother is retired. Nick Bosa is retired. Joey Bosa has 76 and counting, but it's too far to catch up to the Watts brothers. But shout out to both these brothers' mothers, man, who have some heck of a genes, man. And it's successful. You feel good when you get one kid to the NFL.
Two Hall of
but you
Famers
have 2 kids that make it to the NFL that are highly successful. Man, you need to be selling your jeans. You need to be selling your jeans.
They got 3 all together. The other brother was in there, but I mean he did play like fullback, so he ain't gonna get that recognition as them because he played fullback.
Yeah, they from down here where we at. They from down here where we from. They went to a school called St. Thomas. If you never heard of St. Thomas, that's
for real?
Yes, one of the top legit schools for high schools down here. My son went to St. Thomas, man. How we doing out there, man? Was y'all excited about tonight's game? How did everyone feel about Shedeur's performance tonight, man? And do you think Kevin Stefanski? Oh, this is what else I forgot to talk about. Oh man, I'm so sorry. So sorry, y'all. So this is the predictions for Shedeur, man. And I need everyone to understand what is going on in this tweet. This is a tweet I posed on X a couple of days ago when they announced that Shedeur Sanders would be the starter. And, I want people to see all the games that's being played if there's going to be some games being played because they're obvious to see. And this is me right here predicting the future. One of these tweets, this tweet got over like 1 million views, right? Over 100,000, something like that, right? And I'm saying predicting the future, or let's predict the future. And I said, if Shedeur plays good, does Dillon Gabriel come out of concussion protocol? And that's no. And if Shedeur has a bad game, does Dillon Gabriel come out of concussion protocol? And the answer is yes. But why? And the reason is for some strange reason, it seems like Kevin Stefanski refuses to bench Dillon Gabriel or put that tag on Dillon Gabriel as he's been benched, right? And instead, he would rather say that he's still on IR or he's holding him out for another game to continue to run tests, because I don't think he is willing to say Dylan Gabriel is going to be Shedeur Sanders' backup quarterback. That says a lot to a lot of different teams. And like I said, their teams are always grading. They are grading every player in the NFL. They have a grade board for all these players. They have a board with grades on them. And if Shedeur Sanders is starting and Dylan Gabriel is the backup, now Shedeur moves up a notch. I'm sure he already did after this game, but Shedeur moves up a notch ahead of Dylan Gabriel on every other team's board. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. So the more recognition Shedeur gets, he's established now. He's legit now. He don't have nothing to worry about. Teams won't be scared to pick Shedeur Sanders up now and bring him on his team to be a backup quarterback because he has film. He has shown that he can do it. It's not a big deal, or another coach won't get reprimanded for trying to bring in Shedeur because he's the only one believing. Now they have things to back up what they have to, how they feel. So, all right, man, I can't wait to the next game. The next game is going to be against, I think, the 49ers. And that is going to be a different type of challenge. We can all say what we want to say about the Raiders and things like that, but next week is definitely going to be a different challenge, even though the 49ers aren't playing to the levels they used to playing to. But, yeah, if he can go out there and do the things he did today against the 49ers, man, the Cleveland Browns are going to have him a quarterback. And he's going to stop them from drafting the quarterback in the future.
Yeah, that was kind of similar to what you were saying about J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz was a starter, you was like, J.J. McCarthy not really hurt. They just playing Carson Wentz until Carson Wentz really got hurt. And it was like, oh, we got to put him back in. And ended up happening. Carson Wentz got hurt. J.J. McCarthy wasn't hurt no more. He put it right. After they would say he was hurt all that time.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's the name of the game, man. They have to protect these athletes and protect their jobs because they're drafting these athletes in the first round and so on and so forth. So it's all a game, man. If you don't understand, that's why I say life is game. You have to play the game, If you want to win in life, play the game. But I told y'all that was the last story, but I forgot we got one more story, and we have to cover this because I am very critical of this kid in the beginning of the season, and now things have changed, and we got to give him a shout out and give him his just due. Archie Manning total 6 touchdowns with a receiving yard, a TD rushing, a receiving TD, a rushing TD, and a passing TD, and 4 passing TDs in the win over Arkansas. Eli Manning, Arch Manning, man, he's turning things around up there in Texas. I didn't think he had it in him, man.
I don't know.
Maybe he always had it in him. He just needed to tune up his fundamentals and things like that. It didn't look too impressive at first.
I mean, that was this week against Arkansas. Last week they played against Georgia. It was a different Arch Manning.
It was a different Arch Manning, but hey, it's not about what you did for me last week. It was what you did for me this week, right? Now, we're not saying Arkansas is one of the best elite defenses in the college football or anything like that. But, hey, for this week, Arch Manning, he put on the show. It wasn't just about him winning and him making or having a bunch of yards or things like that. I saw the intangibles that you need to be a quarterback in the NFL. And I'm starting to see him now from Arch Manning. I can't lie. Even though, like I said, it wasn't the best competition, but yeah,
Arch Manning that's why Arch Manning not coming out of college this year. He'll come out next year because he needs some more of that experience. He needs some more of that game time. And his grandpop, he said that he's like, I don't want him to come out this year. He want to get some more time under his belt, and I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah, pretty much. He's a true sophomore, so he has to wait another year, man. If I remember correctly, he didn't have a red shirt. But in the beginning of the season, like I said, it was a struggle for Arch Manning, and things didn't look too good. But one of the issues I talk about with quarterbacks now is quarterback development. And I think they did it. The beginning of the season was terrible for the Texas and
Texas Longhorns and Arch Manning. But now the second half of the season, Arch Manning, man, he's playing like one of the top quarterbacks in college football. And you can see the plays that he plays with high energy and a lot of confidence. And that confidence and energy is contagious to his teams. And his team loves to play for him and ride for him, man. So I can see that, you know. And this was Arch Manning's fourth game throwing for over 300 yards. Not just his first game, Drees, and I know you like to say it was against Arkansas. This is his third game. If you actually look at his games, you know, all the throws aren't impressive. So if you're just looking at the stats to get a inclination of how he's played and the throws, all of the yards doesn't really give the tell of how he's been throwing the football. But this game was a really good game of him, you know, showing that he has the potential to throw the football like an NFL caliber quarterback. You know what I mean? And one thing we don't have to worry about anymore is the 2027 NFL #1 draft pick is already solidified. And yeah, that's Arch Manning. We don't have to worry about that. Like I said, at first I was skeptical, man. I was skeptical of Arch Manning. I thought it was all a hype train. But in reality, man, it turned out to be a good move, man. And he's turning out to be a good quality quarterback for the Texans, for Texas Longhorns, you know. And he definitely has exceeded my expectations of whatever I had for him based on earlier in the season. And now he's just showing that he can be successful, you know, in college football and on the next level. And he was just picking the Arkansas defense apart, man, easily finding open receivers left and right, down the field, you know. If he ran 3 verticals, you know, he would hit the guy that was the widest open, you know. That's how on he was in his game against Arkansas. And that 6'4" frame, man, with a big arm is going to be
he definitely the most athletic man in too.
Yeah. And that's what he's definitely the most athletic man, and for sure. He looks like he has a different type of moxie than the other Mannings. You know what I mean? He has a different type of energy he brings, and like I said, that 6'4" frame, man, with a big arm, you know, is going to be a very attractive to a lot of NFL scouts. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But Steve Sarkisian, Texas Longhorn head coach, man, he saw something in Arch Manning a lot of us didn't see. They didn't start Arch Manning as a freshman right off the rip. There was a lot of controversy going on with Arch Manning starting as a freshman. He was thinking about transferring, and then at the last minute, he pumped his brakes and remained with the Longhorns. You know, they started another quarterback. I can't remember his name. His freshman year.
Ewers.
Yeah, Ewers. You know, he was a starting quarterback. He had
he's a backup right now.
Yeah, he's a backup right now. I think for the Dolphins or someone.
To a backup.
So, you know, they gave the job to Ewers over Manning the whole freshman year. That was a big issue, you know. But like I said, I like how Steve Sarkisian didn't fall for the trap, and he understood what he was doing in the development of Arch Manning, and he stuck to his process and stick to his guns. And now he got Arch Manning looking like a well-polished and developed quarterback, just with time, you know. And he was looking like he didn't understand, you know, quarterbacks how meant to throw the football at first. It was like Arch Manning just wanted to be a running quarterback. He didn't understand the quarterback was supposed to put the football down the field. But next week they play against Texas A&M, man. And that's going to be a different challenge, man. They have a young quarterback, or not a young quarterback, a Heisman type of quarterback in Marcel Reed. And let me tell you, if he could go toe-to-toe with Marcel Reed, man, this is going to be very impressive. So I'd be excited to see this game against Texas A&M. Going to be the last game before the playoffs hit in college football. And, you know, if Arch Manning could have played this good in the beginning of the season, University of Texas would definitely be in the college football playoffs. But, you know, sometimes things just don't go how you want it to go. So Hey, man, we had fun tonight, man. Rocking out, man. Rocking out. Drees, what do you think about tonight, man? You had fun? It's probably the longest we ever been on the stream with y'all, man. We appreciate y'all rocking out with y'all, man. Rocking out with us, and we had fun tonight, man. What you think, Drees? Drees done froze up on me. Yeah, man. So, yeah, Drees will come back whenever he get back. But yeah, man, I had fun rocking out with y'all tonight. Let me read a few chats before we get up out of here. Maybe I can start from the top, man. Looking for some Shedeur. 12 in the building. But yeah, man, I was gonna talk about Coach Prime in Arizona State a little bit tonight, man. But I think I'll get to that tomorrow. But or should I get to it tonight? How we doing? It's only 1:11. We only been on here a minute and 40, an hour and 40 minutes. We could rock out about another 20 minutes. Could rock out another 20 minutes. What y'all say? I ain't got nowhere to be. No, I'm just joking with y'all, man. It's your boy, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, man, and I had fun rocking out with y'all tonight, man. Sunday night vibe. Man, I can't believe Dallas Cowboys found a way to get it done against the Eagles, man. Kansas City Chiefs, man, I got them missing the playoffs, but they showed up against the Indianapolis Colts, man, and they're keeping their playoff hopes alive, man. And I predicted the Los Angeles Chargers will be playing against the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, man, and that's not looking too good right now. That's not looking too good right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't find a way to win. Jalen Hurts did everything he was supposed to do, but he didn't find a way to win, man. So we're going to see y'all tomorrow night, man. It's your boy, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel. 50 picks in a 16-game season. Y'all know I'm the Mr. Professional Shit Talker. Y'all know I keep my swag right. The haters left, all that good stuff. And I'm going to see y'all next time, man. We are